Good evening. No. Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Zano, and this is episode 242 of the world famous University Love podcast, also known as Online Marketing Moves. And ladies and gentlemen and ladies, we are coming to you live today. Today is April the 3rd, 2021 at the time of this recording. Everybody, today's going to be a great episode. Today's going to be a great show. You know why? Because I got the feeling. I got a feeling deep in my bones that you are going to enjoy this episode. Now, what are we going to talk about today? Today we are going to talk about why you should find something that you are curious about, that you are interested in, maybe something that you know about, and you should take that and try to start generating money from that. All right. As I told you before, ladies and gentlemen, when I first started trying to figure out myself and trying to figure out what I was going to do online, I saw that I just saw a bunch of people was like, hey, you can make money from this and make money from that. But it's like, make money how? Make money from what? So I was like, oh, I guess I'm in the make money online category, which is very suspicious. Trying to show other people how to make money online, you know, it's a challenge. It's like, make money online from what? You know what I mean? Like, make money online how? You know? But what you can do, avoid this mistake, because it set me back a few months. What you can do is figure out what you have a passion for or something that you are curious about, and then you can start creating content around that, and then that way you can do, because we talked about the three things that make money: health, wealth, finance. But there are different ways. There are plenty of different ways you can go. I told you about. I read a book. The guy had a horse racing podcast, a horse racing, a horse podcast, a podcast about horses. And this guy was making plenty of money because why? He could call people up and he could say, "Hey, I'm Joe. I have a horse racing podcast," and after a while, people started sponsoring the podcast, and he got to go to all these different events. And I thought to myself yesterday, so I would like to travel. My wife would like to travel. How can I monetize? How can I make money and be able to get to travel? Because I need to do something, more. I need to start involving myself in more sub niches than I do now. A lot of times when you try to go general, when you try to go broad, that's where you make the mistake. Because we talked about this on the podcast before. Some of you might be new, but we talked about the red oceans and blue oceans. I have a book. You should read it. I forget the name of the book right now, and it's not at my fingertips. So it's called Blue Ocean Strategy by, I believe the last name is Kim, Kym. You can look that up yourself. But it's definitely a book you can look into. And it just talks about trying to find something that you can, really get deep into and work on that and make money from that. And for me, like, I'm very interested in golf. So for me, that would be, and it's like, so what should I talk about? Of course, you know what I should talk about? I should talk about golf, be, golf for beginners, because I am a beginner. I know about golf, but I'm still in the beginning process. So I could talk about, the different types of things, and then you position yourself. You do podcasts or you do videos, and and you start to get more viewers and you start to get more followers, and then you start contacting companies. You can say, hey, I have a golf podcast, or hey, I have a whatever podcast, and they will start sending you stuff so you can use, and then you can get reviews, and a lot of times they let you keep that stuff, which is nice. And then you can go out and you can say, hey, I went out and played around, or whatever, we'll just use the golf analogy. Say, hey, I went out and played around with these clubs. They were great. They was excellent. I highly recommend them. Why don't you click on the link below? And if you buy from me, I'll give you blah, 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 blah. And you can start making affiliate commissions that way. And it makes affiliate marketing a whole lot easier whenever you establish yourself in one, you know, genre. It's just like I told you before. When I first bought my Canon M50, I saw a guy, he was doing all these videos about cameras and microphones, and I was like, oh man, okay, this guy, he's good. He knows what he's talking about. And he had like 300,000 followers just doing a technology, YouTube channel. And he got to go to these different places, these different shows, and people knew him in his niche. You don't have to be everything to everybody. The more you are more to everything to everybody, generalization is a kiss of death. You know what I mean? So definitely, if you say, hey man, I'm a relationship coach for who, for what? You want to start getting more specific. You can't just say I'm a relationship coach for everybody. No, do you want to be a relationship coach for single people or divorced people? What? You can build an audience that way. You can make money that way. The more specific you are, the better off you can be. All right. You can build and you can grow, and you can definitely grow a lot faster that way than just going, hey man, I'm in the health category. Health? What kind of health? Health. I just want you to be healthy. It's like some people like keto, some people like, vegan, some people like, the syrup diet. It's all kinds of diets. So which one are you talking about? Which one do you want to do? Who do you want to help? Why do you want to help them? So, and then once you figure that part out, all right, we're gonna go step by step. Once you figure that part out, you figure out go deep in the niche. Go to the sub niche. I'm telling you, if you want to save yourself some time, go to the sub niche. Don't do the generalization. But once you go there, then you start doing research. You start doing market research. Who can I help? Why can I help them? What kind of help do they need? How? What can I? What kind of video should I do? Should I do a podcast? Should I do, YouTube videos? Should I do blog? What should I do? And how can I get it out there to the people? And this might take a little time, but you know, once you keep doing it, once you keep putting the content out there, more people will look, because they are looking up. They will look up how to hit an iron shot from the sand. You know what I mean? Like that is something that people will type in. Let's say you are. We'll use the relationship thing. Let's say you are a relationship coach for divorcees. For people over 40. Let's say people over 40 get divorced. You are a relationship coach for them. People will type in blah 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 relationship single and over 40, and then your name will probably pop up. And the more content you produce, the more articles, the more blogs, the more podcasts you do, your name will start to pop up, and then people will click on the link, or people will just start referring you, because the best kind of lead is a referral lead. Okay, so the more you know who are you looking for and why are you looking for them, the better off you will be. And then you can produce content to target yourself towards those people. You don't have to necessarily know about the subject, but you must do research. Do some research, figure out what kind of videos you can do. You can always get help. You can always go to YouTube, type in something, because people post these videos every day. And I'm not saying go word for word. You don't have to be like some people go word for word and steal videos. You don't have to do that, but you can get inspired. You can take the video and say, "Oh, okay, they talk about this. You can put your own spin on that," because we all been in relationships. We've all been dumped. We've all done some dumping before, so you can always fall back on your own This is when your personal story comes in. You go, yeah, this happened to me, and then I could tell you what you should do, blah blah blah, and you position yourself, as an authority, and that's the most important thing. And then after a while, you start get the results. You start to get some results. You start to help some people, and they will say, "Hey, this guy, he's legit." And then you always tell people, "Hey, you think you can, write me do a video for me," or something like that, because the more social proof you have, the easier it will be eventually. You know what I mean? Now you don't want to go to that's one thing you have to watch out for some of these internet marketers. They go buy fake testimonials off the Fivers and the Upwork. So be careful about that. But for you, you get people to say, hey, could you say something nice and I can post it on my website or post it on the YouTube channel, whatever, So, once you find your sub niche, start producing content and start trying to figure out, what kind of ebooks you could write, how can you monetize this situation? Because once you start building a following, then you definitely want to start monetizing it, and you can hook up with different people. You could talk to different people. You can start interviewing people that are maybe in the same, category or a different category, or they just in relationships in general. You could talk to them about relationships. You could talk to people about, hey, how does being an entrepreneur affect your relationship? There's all kinds of avenues that you can go whenever you find your sub niche and whenever you start producing the content. All right. That's one of the best things because you can tie a lot of different things into everything. Let's say you are a relationship coach. You are doing the whole, I'm here for divorcees over 40. And you can say, okay, now some of you all have a business, or some of y'all are dating people that have a business. How do you handle being an entrepreneur? Because as you well know, you're an entrepreneur. It's not a 8-hour job. It's a 24-hour thing. You can get my wife one time. She's an entrepreneur. We got a phone call once. It was 1 o'clock in the morning. Hey, you have a water leak down here. So we had to get out the bed. We had to get in the car. We drove. We had to drive 20 minutes. Got to the store. Spent an hour cleaning stuff up. Got back in the car. Drove back home. Went to sleep. My wife had to wake up 3 hours later to teach a class. So that is being an entrepreneur. This is a never-ending situation. And I know people love to talk about automation. Automation is great. Automation is fine. But at the same time, you're running a business. You want to keep an eye on a thing. You don't want to go to sleep behind the wheel. Some automation is good for like emails and stuff like that, but you don't want to put everything on autopilot. That's lazy. That's lazy. That will get you anywhere. That will get you nowhere. All right. So keep that in mind. That is just different ways you can tie. If you whatever you want to do, you can tie any and everything into this, or you can always interview different people from different fields and say, hey, we talk about this, we talk about that, what expertise, and this is where you start and you go, hey, I'm so, and then you can start whenever you get the sub niche going, you start producing the content and you build up enough of a following, and then you can say, hey, so and so, I am Joe Blow. I have 100,000 followers. I would like to interview you, or I would like to come on your podcast, or I would like to come on your YouTube channel. And the more you do that, the more people will get to know you, people will get to like you, and they will go, you know what? I'm going to follow this guy. I like this guy, because you never know when somebody might need your product. You never know when somebody might become a 45-year-old divorcee, and they are looking for dates. So you never know, So just keep that in mind. Always keep that in mind. Always make sure you know which direction you want to go. Make sure you know what you want to do. You know what I mean? Like I'm just here to tell you the biggest mistake I probably made was just trying to do the whole general I can't even say the word, generalizing my situation. Just like, oh, I'm going to throw a net out there. No, you throw a net out there, you're going to catch zero fish. You cast a small net and you know what kind of fish you want. Hey, I want trout. All right, go get those trout. You know where to go. Go get them. Not, oh, I'll take any kind of fish. No, that doesn't work. It does not work. Trust me. So break it down, figure out what you want to do, how you want to do it. Start producing content. The more content you produce, the better off you will be. Start trying to do ebooks and all that kind of stuff, to help people out in said niche that you want to do, and take it from there. And then, they will give you plenty of money. And once you figure all that out, and once you figure out how to monetize it, because you can always get paid if you do a blog. You can always get paid from ads. You can always get paid from the YouTube channel, of course. You can always make money from the podcast. I mean, now on the podcast, you won't get rich in the beginning. Trust and believe you me. 6 months in, I'm not a millionaire yet. Close, but no cigar. But just keep it in mind, in the beginning stages, once you find your sub niche and then you want to keep going, keep striving, don't look at the money. Do not look at the money. Do not worry about the money. This is a labor of love. All right. So you want to eventually, you want to get the freedom that you are looking for. You want to run this business full time eventually. So get it out of your mind. Hey man, there's not enough people listening. There's not enough people doing this, doing that. Figure out the content, make the content good, and then worry about who can I get? Who can I get into my world and my universe? Who can I attract? Who's going to be attracted to me? And who can I keep out of this circle? After a while, then you start worrying about that stuff. After a few months, then you start worrying about the numbers, Even up to this day, numbers do not bother me. Some episodes get plenty, some don't. It just depends on the day, depends on the time, depends on the weather. It's a lot of variables, But all I can do is give out the best effort possible, make sure that I'm doing my A1 job on the podcast to make sure that when people listen to it, they're like, all right, this guy knows what he's talking about. I want to follow this guy. I like this guy. I'm attracted. I'm attracted to this guy. All right. Or this good gal. We'll say that. All right. So just keep that in mind. And make sure you are producing content. Make sure you're not copying, and just start writing down different things that you can do, from ebooks to one-page letters, or you can help them out. You can say, hey, you need a little coach, we'll let you email, or let me look at your email, or, vice versa, just keep that in mind when it comes to coming back and when it comes to figuring out what you want to do. Make sure you have a plan. Make sure you write it all down, because you can do ebooks, you can do one page, just one like page with the charts and all that kind of stuff. You can do t-shirts, you can do keychains, you can do mugs, you can do physical books. You can do videos. You can say, hey, I'm gonna make this video, but I'm not gonna post it online. It's strictly for you. You can do that if you want to start a coaching group. There's all kinds of ways you can go, especially when you figure out and you know what you want to do and how you want to do it. So keep that in mind. Don't make the mistake I made. Don't generalize. Generalizing will leave you broke. So please. I mean, I know I emphasized that on this episode, but I'm really telling you, I wasted quite a few months just trying to be generalizing. It's like, ugh. Now that I look back on it, it's like, ugh. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the podcast. Remember, figure out, you don't have to be an expert at whatever the thing is you want to do, but what you can be is a learning sponge. All right. What you can do is soak up the learning. Learn. Take the task, take it seriously, it's a business. Write stuff down. You want to start writing blogs, do that. If you want to make videos, do that. If you want to do a podcast, then do that. It's very easy to get started, very easy to do. And, all right? So, and then once you start making that content and once you start gaining a following, and then you really start honing in on the monetizing, you really start honing in on the, hey, check out, you want to do an ad here, or hey, let me come on your podcast so I can promote myself and be the best guest in the world, and that way people will be like, oh, I like this guy so much, I like this young lady so much, I'm going to follow them, I'm going to give them my sacred email address. Ooh, we want that Yahoo address real bad, because we're going to send you 5 or 6 emails a day. No, but anyway, keep that in mind, when you get started. If you think I'm just going to try to cast my net on everybody, you are going to cast your net on nobody. All right. So with that being said, my name is Tony Zano. Hurry up, find you a niche, go below, drop one step down, sub niche it, and then start producing the content that you need to start gaining a following. Check everything out once, twice, give it a third, give it the comb over. You know what to do. All right. But we will be back tomorrow with the all new episode of Online Marketing Moves. But until then, my name is Tony Rizano. I had a nice time talking to you. I hope you had a nice time listening. And as always, everybody, peace.